Hey guys, this is Courtney from Willow's Bloom, where we intentionally design our life and business with the cosmos. If you guys like this content, then don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and check out willowsbloom.com because there's a lot more content like this and tons of stuff about astrology. So today we're going to be talking about some of the most common limiting beliefs that I see come up in business. I work with business owners to create the business of their dreams using astrology, and a lot of these things come up for them as well as myself. So I'm going to be giving you guys some stories about that. And most importantly, I'm going to give you the tips and tricks that I use to get rid of the limiting beliefs and move past them. So this is going to be really, really important if you're looking to grow your business. You will encounter these things. So get ready. All right, guys, so I have a list right here on my iPad about some of the most common limiting beliefs. I'm going to read them off of here. So if I'm looking down, that's because I'm reading. Okay, so one of the most common ones I see come up is somebody is already doing this. Yeah, somebody is already doing what you're doing. There is nothing unique in the world, but that's okay. And the thing is, when you learn under somebody, you're going to replicate a lot about what they do until you create your own voice, until you've been doing it long enough to create your own pathway. And when you follow your intuition, you'll probably already be doing this a little bit from the beginning anyway. And I'm going to link my using intuition in your business video up here because it will show you how to create that pathway for yourself. However, you're going to have a lot of overlap with the people that you study under, and that's just a limiting belief you're going to have to let go of. If you feel like you shouldn't do something because someone else is already doing it, that's a mistake. No one else can do it like you can. No one else is going to have your same touch. Certain people will be attracted to you. There are millions and millions and millions, I think there are billions of people in the world, and some people need to learn from you and not from your teacher. And so I really want you guys to know that. Look how many fast food restaurants there are. What if someone was like, oh, there's already fast food, I'm not going to create another place? That just doesn't make any sense. So I'm just kind of going to go through and tackle like the ideology behind the limiting beliefs. And then I'm going to go through and actually give you the tips that I use in order to get rid of them on a deeper level. Because sometimes you can know that, okay, like, yeah, I get the logic behind why that shouldn't be a limiting belief, but sometimes it can still exist. And so that's why I'm going to give you the tips after about how to get rid of them from like the root, to pull it out of you so it doesn't grow more roots and really dig into you. Okay, so number 2, I'm not ready or good enough or qualified enough. You will experience this at every level of your business. And this is something that I really want to talk about today, is the next level devil. As you advance in your business, as you go up an income level, as you attract more clients, more customers, more publicity, you're going to experience greater limiting beliefs, your next level devils. You're going to tell yourself that you're not good enough, or that you can't make it to that, or there's so many other things that you can say. And so as you begin to ascend and evolve, just remember that these thoughts are going to come up every single time in new and different ways. So these are kind of like the root ones that you'll see again and again. Thinking that you're not ready or that you're not good enough is not a helpful thought, because you're never really going to be ready. And no one ever feels ready. No one's ever like, yes, I'm ready, unless they waited way too fucking long to get started. So don't listen to those people, because you learn as you go. You create the experience as you go. You gain the knowledge as you go. So of course you need to have a little bit of knowledge before you get started. Like, you're not going to go out totally green, but I think it's just such a mistake for people to always be waiting and waiting. And this came up specifically for one of my students. She's just launching her business now. She's working with me to get it launched. And she was like creating the whole program, and she's like, yeah, I think I'll launch it next year. And that is 6 months away. And I'm like, bro, no, you can create this material and launch it in August, in September, like max. And she wasn't even going to start fully making it until much later. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, you're setting yourself up for delay and for failure when you have these thoughts about yourself, because it's not true. You're ready now. You have the material now. It doesn't have to be perfect. The I'm not ready yet is because it's not going to be perfect yet. It's not going to be perfect until somebody goes through your course, through your material, till they work with you on it, and then you refine it over time, and then eventually it gets pretty good. Not perfect. It will never be perfect. And so people are always like waiting to get ready. It's like waiting to have the answers before you take the first step on the journey. It doesn't make any sense. You're not going to know the path. You're not going to have all the answers. You have to start it in order to get those things, in order for those things to come to you. Okay, obviously I'm really passionate about this, so I'm sorry if it's like too much, you guys. Okay, you're never gonna be ready, start anyway. Okay, number 3, who is going to trust me or follow me when I don't have a following on social media yet? What? Like, I had this thought, and that's why I'm like, what? You guys, that's just so dumb. Because you don't need to have a pre-existing following to have a message that matters. It doesn't matter how many people are subscribed to your email list or are following you on Instagram or on YouTube, because you can make a difference in someone's life right now with the material that you have right now. And that's why I say you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be ready, because what material you have right now is enough to get people going, to make big changes in people's lives. And when you're waiting to be ready, you're holding yourself back from making changes in those people's lives, from impacting them. And so when you hold yourself back and you think no one's going to listen to me because I don't have a following, it just doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like the chicken before the egg thing. Like, I don't have a following, so no one's going to want to follow me. Like, just start putting out wonderful content and then know that it's going to work out for you. Okay, my camera pretty much just died. So if it starts blinking again, I might have to talk super, super fast. Okay, so number 4, I can't sell because I don't have a following. This is a very strong limiting belief that a lot of people have. You don't need a following to make money. Those things are not actually related. I mean, of course it helps, but it's not necessary. You can network, you can use affiliates, you can use other people's audiences, you can go to people's podcasts. You don't even need a website to make money. So don't hold yourself back by this limiting belief. I'm an imposter. This is a pretty common one. You know, I think a lot of this has to do with embodying your message. And I think sometimes when you're stepping out before you feel ready, you don't feel like you're embodying your message as much as you could, as much as somebody else is. Or you don't have the amazing results someone else does. Or you feel like you're new to an industry. Why would someone listen to you? So it's a lot of comparison. So just keep your head down and focus on yourself and realize that the embodiment and the confidence will come with time. And if you don't feel a little bit like an imposter, you're probably not pushing yourself enough. Money is hard to make. I have to work hard to make money. You know, that's just not true. Making more money makes things complicated or stressful. This is a really big one. If you have a $1 million business and you want to go to multi-million dollars and you're worried about it becoming too complicated or too stressful, that's a limiting belief. My customers can only afford this amount, and if I charge more, no one will buy, or I will price them out. So don't assume how much your customers can afford. Your customers can afford whatever they think is valuable, because they will save up the money and they will find a way to afford what they value. And so it's super important not to assume how much they can afford and that no one will buy, because of course someone will buy as long as you value what you have to offer and you think it's worth that price. Okay, it's blinking again. I'm not good at making money, creating content, blah, 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 blah. You are good at it. Just put more practice into it. Marketing makes me feel cold and salesy. That's because you're approaching it in a way that is cold and salesy. If you can approach it with warmth, and if you can do it in a way that feels authentic, then it's not even marketing, really. I haven't been doing this long enough to start an achievement. You can achieve whatever at whenever time. Time is a man-made concept. So this is a limiting belief that will not serve you. Okay, so when we're operating under limiting beliefs, a lot of times we don't even know that we're operating under them. And it's because we don't take enough time to reflect, or we don't have a coach that can really peer into our mind and tell us when it's bullshit. So I work with my students in my business course using astrology, and I straight up tell them that's limiting belief. Like, don't let that hold you back. And so it's really important to take the time to reflect, to journal. If you ever feel like you're blocked or like you're taking too long to do something, or like you don't have the answers flowing, it's probably because you're suffering from a limiting belief. So it's super valuable to hire a coach to help you with that. So what I suggest doing is writing out the limiting belief, why you think that's true, and then next to it, I want you to write out the exact opposite and why the opposite is true, why you are ready, why you are the best, why you're not an imposter, and anything related to that. Really delve into that belief and then try to actually believe it. And if you can't, then you can choose an intermediary thought that is more believable to you, but it's not the limiting belief. So if you don't necessarily think like, for example, let's just say like, I say I'm fat, and then you go to I'm skinny. Well, maybe you don't believe that. Can you choose something in the middle? Can you say I'm working on being skinny? And I do this all the time when limiting beliefs come up in my life, and I think it's so useful to address them head on. The next thing that I recommend is to visualize your success, to visualize you having that experience, having that goal met. And because your brain is just not used to you experiencing that thing, so you have these doubts and these beliefs that it can't happen, but it's just because you need to get used to the idea of yourself being in that situation. So the more you visualize it, the more you get used to yourself being that person, embodying those traits, and it will feel more possible for you. And something that goes off of the back of that is to normalize big numbers. The more you write down how much you want to make and break it down, like how many courses or whatever do you have to sell? How many people have to buy it? And break those numbers down per month. It becomes much more tangible. It feels a lot easier. If you say, I need to sell 10 courses this month, that feels a lot easier than saying, I need to make $100,000 this year. So break it down by month, normalize the big numbers, get used to seeing that, and visualize yourself with that result. My next suggestion is to reprogram your subconscious mind through hypnosis. So 80% of your behaviors, your actions, your habits are run from your subconscious mind. So we're really only we're on the surface level. It's kind of like the internet, and then you look at the deep web is so much more than just the surface internet. That's the same thing with your subconscious mind. So when you reprogram the subconscious to work for you, to go after your dreams and to change the beliefs that are sitting there, you're really able to have that final result. It's easy to journal about it, but the hypnosis is kind of what really gets to the core of the issue, because it's all like programmed on your computer there. And so it's less of the surface level treatment and more of the deep ingrained treatment. And if you like this idea of having a hypnosis to reprogram your subconscious mind, I have this in my business course using astrology for all the common limiting beliefs that come up for entrepreneurs. And that's going to be coming out soon. And then the very last thing, I just wanted to remind you that next level devils are super real. You're going to experience this at every level of your business. You will always have limiting beliefs. That's okay. And that's normal. And you guys can totally rock it now that you have all these tools. So comment down below, what are some limiting beliefs that you guys have experienced in your business? For me, all of these have come up. It's very, very real. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And most importantly, hit that notification bell so you get my videos pushed to you each week. Have a good one. Bye.